Yeah, onboarding has been more of focus than usual because our company has grown a lot over the past quarter. So, and that would be Q4. When you think about all the hires we made in the year, 45% of them we made in the last 3 months. So we've been doing a lot of onboarding and a lot of pressure testing of the various parts of onboarding. I would say, all the things that you mentioned at Humu, we do them at Virta. And I think that like having a buddy is definitely critical to getting a relationship in play, especially in a remote environment where there's not really a clear person to talk to. There's no one around you to talk to. I think that that time with the CEO that you mentioned as well is pretty critical. And one of the things that we do at Virta is that a couple of times a month, 2 to 3 times a month, our CEO actually talks to all of our incoming teammates about our origin story, about how our business works, describes our culture, and is open for questions. And so I think it's a great time for all the members of the team who are joining to know one another and kind of feel like they're part of a cohort, and then also to have access to our CEO and kind of hearing it straight from his mouth has been really meaningful for us as we've scaled, and particularly as we've scaled in a remote environment.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're basically hearing I feel like the company's story in some ways is the company's strategy. And so hearing it like directly from the CEO, I remember having a very similar experience. Me and the three or four other new hires on a onboarding call with our CEO, who is kind of like this LinkedIn famous guy. Everybody knows him because he's an author, and you
Mm-hmm.
kind of have like a mini like, oh, like this is like a celebrity kind of moment. And I feel like that you still have that any company with your CEO. Like they are like the person at the company, like they're the face of the company. And so it feels like low hanging fruit. Like I don't know why most companies don't incorporate that into their onboarding. I guess it becomes harder to scale, but
Yeah, I think that's what people say, but I mean, we're nearing 1,000 and Sami still does them. And I think at greater scale, it's more of a demonstration of how important the organization's culture is. And so, when you're a 2,000 person company and your CEO is still taking time to talk to new hires, it really shows something. It really demonstrates something. And I think the other thing that's amazing about it is that it ensures that there's a close link between what the people team is saying the culture is and what the leadership team thinks it is, because you've got the CEO saying that this is what they think and how they see the world. And there's not something that I think often happens as organizations become larger, which is kind of a space of daylight that's starting to exist between your stated culture and the way that the culture is lived in the organization, particularly by leadership, because they're the ones who are setting the standard for how the organization is going to run and what it's really about.